Basile, your host, with the most. It's really, it's really tough to be me. It really is, because I am, in the words of James Brown, jump back and kiss myself. It's good to be here. If you are joining us on Facebook, thank you so much. But don't forget, you can call in as well, 844-790-8255. That's 844-790-8255. Call in. Besides our live stream on Facebook, which I'm sure, Janice, are we on that already?
We are on. We are going.
I love Facebook. Besides our live stream on Facebook, you can listen to me online at americamatters.us and on the TuneIn app from your phone or tablet. Just search America Matters. And you really don't have an excuse not to be listening or watching. And for those people who are driving, please don't watch. It's very dangerous.
But your passengers can. Your passengers can watch.
Your passengers can, which makes it a very bitter situation between driver and passengers, and it may leave the passengers somewhere on the side of the road in the greater Reno area who are listening to us on live radio, TV, or live radio
TV.
I knew there was a reason I wanted an ejection seat in my car.
Yes. Well, you got to get the old, what was it, the James Bond Austin Martin with the ejector seat? Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Am I showing my age?
No, I'm your age, so I know it.
That was the greatest toy that I ever had, was a model of the Austin Martin car, James Bond's car, right, with the ejector seat in it. And I never took care of it like I took care of all my other toys. I still have original boxes for all my toys back in the day. And this thing was and I let friends use it, and they destroyed it. And finally, I just did my rendition of Mothra and Godzilla and stepped on it. And that was it. That was the end of that little vehicle. But it was a beautiful toy. Anyway, as I'm reminiscing, I am here with my wonderful co-host, Janice Hermson. We broadcast from wherever I'm at. Right now, I happen to be in Wilmington, North Carolina, at my studio, but she is in the Reno studio in Nevada. We're here every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. New York City time for those of you who are around the world, like my friends in Australia, throughout Europe, throughout Canada, the U.S., South Africa, all over the place. New York City time, it's Eastern Standard Time. And we have amazing guests and topics, and we have tons of fun on our show, as we always do. Today, I'm really looking forward to taking questions from you and my audience, because we're going to do something a little bit different. Today is a very, and Janice, by the way, how you doing?
Boy, you're on a roll today. I'm doing well.
I am on a roll. You know what? I'm going to drink my little coffee. I can't really show you what it is, but I'll just hide it just like this, okay?
Yum, yum.
Love my coffee. Mm-hmm. Yes, I love my coffee. There are certain things that, we don't discuss politics on our show, because I don't care if you're a raging lunatic liberal or a raging lunatic conservative. I'm somewhere in between. I really am. And I really don't like discussing politics. You and I kind of share the same base politics. Yeah, which is fine. And I think it's great. And there are certain things. And today is going to be kind of cool. And I'll tell you why. Because you coming from a female point of view, and I'm coming from a male point of view. And one of the things that kind of bothers me is this this inequality in pay. And I guess today is it's a big celebration today. Today is Equal Pay Day. For the women on average make the same amount as men did in 2008. I mean, they say that there's really an inequality of pay. Now, I got to be honest with you, and for all my listeners and viewers, I love working with women. I do not get intimidated by women. I love collaborating with women. I find them to be extremely aggressive, and I find them also to be on top of the game, where most men, let's just take Craig, for example, really are more lax. You know what I'm saying? They really...
Oh, he's wait till you see.
Is he doing it? Is he showing me that he's number one again?
No, I have not gone that far. I'm just looking at the camera that's looking at me very intently.
Well, and I want to jump in here for a second, because please. Like you enjoy working with women, when I'm now independent, so I work all with women because they're my partners, right. And we are an all-woman business. But we don't emphasize that, first of all. And I suppose if there was something out there that required that, yeah, we have an advantage and we have an edge, and that's great.
Well, it's like Sign Chicks used to be.
Right.
All women in the whole,
right.
Julie and the
yeah,
crew.
But
and,
it wasn't necessarily by design. It was by the fact that we're all related and we're all women, and that just happens to be. But what I was going to say is that I do actually enjoy working with men. I found when I was working out there and working for the man, as they say, I really liked working with men, whether they were my boss or if they were subordinate. Either way was good.
And I think the beautiful part is because, I never had an issue. It was, of course I overwatched myself because you don't want to come across as a sexist pig or whatever like that, or smacking a woman in the rear end and thinking it's okay. It's not. But the thing is, I've always loved collaborating. I love goofing off with. Anytime there's a woman who's strong from that point of view, Kula, my wife, is a very, very strong woman. I love working with her. All the people at my church and people on my professional side, maybe agencies and or collaborating with other people who are writers and other comedians and stuff. I respect them for who they are, not what they are, as far as being what sex they're. And this whole thing, and we're going to definitely have to go into the second segment, because I want to hear from women. I want you women to call in 844-790-8255, because I got to tell you something. There's more to this than just this inequality. I think there are various things we have to look at. Experience. We have to look at how long you've been with the company. We have to look at all this. And then make your argument from there if you feel that you're not really being paid as much, because I think if you're doing the same exact job, if you are the same time you went there together, you should be paid equally. But if you're not there at the same time, and the man in this case happens to be there much longer, well, that's a different story. We're going to get back to that in the second segment. Right now, we got to do that break thing, so keep in touch. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. You're listening to A Pinch of Basile. Mwah.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Now back to the show.
Oh, we are indeed back, and that even goes for anyone who wants to become one of our main sponsors. We go not only coast to coast here in the United States, we go around the world. You have a product you want to sell, you have something special you want to tell everyone about, put it on this show, A Pinch of Basile. We guarantee we'll get that message out for you. And there's so many other various things that we have as well that you can go ahead and get that message across when you become a sponsor of this fantastic show. You are definitely back listening to A Pinch of Basile all around the world. You can go to our TuneIn app and find America Matters, or listen live every week at americamatters.us. If you miss any part of this show, you'll find us under the podcast on the site of under A Pinch of Basile on Facebook. And listen, we're thinking about putting all of our podcasts, okay, everything that we have done, we like to refer to them as our radio show, but we are going to be putting them on, yes, that's right, folks, on my YouTube channel. We're going to release that information to you real soon. A lot of you always want to find out how they can listen, where they can listen, all that. We want to expand and give you that opportunity to go ahead and listen to us. There is a couple things. First of all, I guess I have to hit some of this stuff as far as some of the shows that I'll be doing. Last week, Congressman Gus Bilirakis, a wonderful congressman from Tampa, Florida. Thank God we did a nice little fundraiser for him in Washington, D.C. That was a lot of fun. But this Saturday, April 6th, I'll be in Syracuse, New York for the Guardian Angel event that they have there at the theater. Folks, they're all just about sold out. I've told you about this. I warned you about this. You took your time. You said, oh, there's plenty of time. It's only Basile. But Basile sells out, baby. Basile sells out. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Bruno Sciarippo, of course, will be there. And, of course, we're going to have Sky Sands opening for the show as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then I'm going to be, listen to this, Janice. This is hysterical. I am doing a Lenten comedy special.
A Lenten? You are doing a Lenten. Ooh.
Lenten comedy special. It's part of my Greek show that I do of Growing Up Greek in America in Fort Lauderdale at St. Demetrius. Again, it's the Lenten comedy special, and it's all the funny without the meat. I think that's nice. because see how I did that?
Yeah, I
All
see
right,
how you did that.
okay.
That was well done. Well done.
Anyway, May 3rd,
Bravo.
Thank you very much. I'm a giver. Anyway, at St. Demetrius on May 3rd at Chicago, Illinois. St. Sophia's in Syracuse. I'll be back in Syracuse May 4th. St. George's Church in Lynn, Massachusetts. It's May 5th. Yeah, if you feel like a little Mexican, go come to my Greek show. Okay, so St. Demetrius at Perth Amboy, New Jersey on May 11th. June 1, St. Demetrius Greek Festival in Wildwood. June 7th at the Ahimpa District Convention in Phoenix, Arizona. June 8th is the District Convention in Portland, Oregon. June 10th through the 16th, I'll be in Las Vegas at the Tropicana. And then, folks, are you ready for this one? Are you listening, Reno? That's right. I will be at the Laugh Factory at the Silver Legacy, June 18th through the 23rd. Make sure you get to that show. I want all my shows there to be sold out. No excuses. I'm dependent on you. That's right. All of you out there. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I do want to get back, Janice, to this whole thing that we were discussing about equal pay for equal work. And I don't care if you're a minority. I don't care if you're a woman, whatever the case may be. And my thought has always been, and I think you feel the same way, that just because you go there and you have the same job doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make the same money. You have to take variables into consideration. I think one of them, for example, I can't just turn into a comedian one night and say, well, I want the same money as that headliner just because you do the same job. Doesn't work that way, folks. It doesn't work that way. And I'm going to tell you some of the reasons that really upset me. You have to take into consideration experience, years in the biz, all of these other variables to go and get yourself up to that point. Well, the same thing at the workplace. And Janice, from a female point of view, do you agree with me on this?
I actually do agree with you on that. I think that it really does depend on, it should just all be weighed equally. The whole point is equal pay for equal work, and all the factors that you described are part of that. So, and I think that coming from that era when everyone was fighting for that equality. And I think I've told you my story about working in the trades, and yes. I was working as a carpenter, and it was tough. The guys were not very nice to me. So I think that's changed, and I think that's really good. And maybe we haven't come as far as we need to, but I think those things take time, and we should move on to a new argument, because I think we're getting the equal pay for equal work for the most part. I mean, I don't think you ever solve it all.
And I want women who are out there, please call the 844-790-8255. And if you want to add something to this, let me know, because I think it's sad, because you have a small portion of women say, well, I got to have the same money. Well, you didn't put the same amount of time in. If you want the same amount of money, you got to put the same amount of time as that other guy. I don't think it's based on, personally, I don't care, as long as you have the same amount of time and expertise and everything as that other man, then you'll get equal pay. You know, it's kind of funny in my industry, as far as comedians are concerned, and other comics who are listening right now will tell you the same thing. You're going to have a guy, and I've seen it all the time, and of all my friends who are listening, watching, they know what I'm talking about. You're going to have a young comic is sitting there and say, well, yeah, I've been doing comedy for about 4 months, and I think I can headline. Really? 4 months? Okay. And, you just sit there.
Hey, you got to pay your dues. You got to pay your dues.
Pay the dues, get up there, go and live in a car like I used to.
So let me ask you a question. There are a lot of college kids coming out of college, and they've earned their degree. They've paid a lot of money to go to school, and a lot of them feel that they should get better pay.
Well, listen, again, even with my kids, you have to get in there. And I always tell them, you get the job that you can get, and you keep on climbing. And then you look for another job that's a little bit better. And it's another job that's a little bit better. And sometimes you have to take a lateral move to make sure that you maybe can climb 2 or 3 rungs higher than you would have if you just stayed at that other job. It's all based on strategy and how you're going to do it. But if you're thinking you're going to get the home run ball on a soft pitch, or a soft toss, I should say, and think you're going to slam it out of there for the first time, it doesn't work that way. Unless you graduate from the top 10% of your class in law school, you're not going to go to the top law firm in the country. I know people who have worked very, very hard, who had the opportunity to go to law school and graduated the bottom third because they actually had to wind up working, putting a family together, doing this and that, and whatever they had to do. And it wasn't because they did not have the aptitude to go ahead and do something special, but what they had was something a little bit different. What they had is they had gumption. They had to go get them. Let me go attack it now that I got my Juris Doctorate, my law degree, and they become major partners in these firms because they worked up to it. It wasn't handed to them. They did not graduate top 10%, top 5%. I'm just using law as an example. Anything. For the young kids out there, if you really think you're going to make it that quickly, unless you are a prodigy and you are something out of the ordinary and you are a statistical genius that companies are looking for, guess what? You're going to start at the bottom rung and you're going to move up. And the harder you work and the harder you can show your boss that you can do something that's something extraordinary to help the company, that is when you're going to excel and become somebody. Work. Stay up nights. Look, I write, I act, I do a radio show. I do stand-up in Greek, I do stand-up in English. You have to throw all those irons out there to be somebody, to accept that thing that I'm going to do it. I'm not expecting someone else to do it for me. You got to do it for yourself. That's the only way that people are going to actually go ahead and see you and go, my God, this kid sat there and really busted his butt to get to that next point. I think I'm going to give him a raise and a higher position. And that's the way it works. You like that? I'm a hell of a, listen, I can give you motivational speeches.
There
like
you go. You're just doing it. I think that Craig's got the best motivational speech of all right now. And as soon as he comes on your frame, because for those of you listening and watching, it takes a few minutes before we see what's actually going on out there. And so now I think that you should be seeing this, Basil. Can you see the screen at all?
I'm looking. I don't see anything.
You don't see anything.
I don't see anything.
Well,
what is Greg doing? Is Greg again showing me that he's number one? Is he showing me that he's number one?
No, he's showing you that he has a sense of humor. That's what I would say.
Is he mooning me?
No,
what exactly is he doing?
He's the Easter Bunny today. You can't see the Easter Bunny on there?
I cannot see the Easter Bunny.
Oh, I'm so sad that you can't see. I thought you could see the video. Yes, he's the Easter Bunny today. He's just sharing his wonderful costume, which I don't know where the heck that came from, but I love that. That is great. He's shaking his head. Yeah, he likes it
folks,
too.
And do you think Craig just started off as the Easter Bunny?
He's waving his ears at you.
He had to move up to become the Easter
There
Bunny.
you go. He did. Well done, Craig. Well done. Oh, you lost a little bit there.
Does he look like the kid from A Christmas Story that his aunt actually made him an Easter Bunny
This is really,
outfit?
You'll have to watch the video later because it's a really good costume.
Send it to me later on.
Yeah, actually, my theater company is doing a dinner murder mystery on Saturday, and it's Easter themed. So we have the Easter Bunny, we have a jester.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not going to that one.
So if you get killed or die in this, are we to assume someone's pregnant?
Perhaps, huh? I don't know, man.
Oh, my God. Remember, if the rabbit died, someone was pregnant. That's all I used to remember.
I got it.
Oh, my God. Listen, it's about that time again. We got to do that little thing called sponsorship and whatnot. So do me a favor, folks. Keep in touch. You are listening to A Pinch of Basile.
Here on America Matters.
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now, back to the show.
Oh, we are indeed back with A Pinch of Basile. Don't forget, we are live streaming this on Facebook. You can also listen in on the TuneIn app on any phone or device. Once you have the app, just search America Matters And if you are on your computer, go to americamatters.us. That's it. It's real simple. That's all you got to do. If you want to comment, go to my Basile fans page on Facebook. If you have any questions for me, give us a call. And I do mean, I want to hear from the females out there. If you guys can hear this, and if you think I'm wrong, then you got to let me know. Share it with our audience around the world. Do you think it's always going to be automatic equal pay because you just got that spot, that experience doesn't matter for anything? Tell me what you think. I also want to get into that. You think it's too political, that Jesse Smollett issue that I heard a judge is going to be lifting I guess, squelching down that file. They're going to reopen it.
Oh, the expunged file. The expunged file. Yeah.
If they're going to expunge that, I think,
I have known people that have faced things like this, and it took a while before they were able to even apply for that. So I was kind of surprised, that it was so quick. And it may be just that he really did pull strings, and that's why it's all like that, which is the way it appears on the face of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say it doesn't look like that. Of course it does. Right? Everybody's always tippy-toeing around this issue. But yeah, it looks like he pulled strings and he got off because of it. So we all feel a little bit, a little upset about that. Why? Why does he get off and I wouldn't, right? I mean, I think that's natural human nature.
Yeah. And I think, some people are complaining that it came from Michelle Obama, that perhaps President Obama puts that. We don't know that. It's all hearsay. The only thing I will say is this. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what faith. I don't care what sex you are. I don't care. If you incite something like racial tensions, if you do something to cause people to really cause damage to other people because you lied about something, of someone coming and saying that you were either beaten or you were threatened and it didn't happen, you need to do time. Because
the thing that's hard is, he is saying he's innocent, which is fair. He can say that, but then he should face the typical process that we all go through to prove, or actually, he doesn't even have to prove he's innocent. They have to prove he's guilty. So
absolutely,
so he is innocent until proven guilty. But now everybody's up in arms about it because they gave so much information from the police chief that you kind of feel like he's guilty. If we're going to be honest, you feel like, wow, look what this dude did. That's weird. So, he's not giving anyone No, I don't. You don't think, or you do?
I think they're going to reopen it. And if they do, I think it's a good thing because I don't like racists. I've never liked racists. And it hurts nothing more than the country. In this situation, and we discussed this before off air, we were always taught, you have freedom of speech, you absolutely do. But does that mean you have the right to go into a movie theater and scream fire?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, yeah.
Can't do that. Okay, well, what he did, it's the same thing. He screamed that there were racists out there after him. Now, I'm not saying the cat's a liar, but man, to really, ISO those files that quickly and to put it away that quickly and whatnot, even the mayor, what is it?
I don't remember. Is it
Emmanuel?
No. Rahm Emanuel. Yeah.
Ron Emanuel, who is a big time Democrat. Even the police chief, who happens to be black, who's black, the police chief of Chicago is black, goes, this ain't working because what is it doing? It's only elevating the situation of race riots and wars because of what this idiot may have done. And I have an issue with that. And I don't like that at all. But what I am looking for is I'm looking for people to talk to right now. If you're on my line, and listen, Facebook fans, look, and I really mean this. I don't care if you're Facebook fans. I don't care if you're Instagram fans. I don't care if you're Twitter fans. You can always get me at Basile Fans, Basile Fans. Call in right now, 844-790-8255. There's no reason why you can't comment and let us know what you think about this whole thing about women's equality in pay. And do you think it should be instamatically just like that? And even for those kids who are graduating right now from college, do you think you deserve to, right off the get-go, to make the kind of pay that people who have had 10, 15 years into service? I say no, you don't. I don't care what sex, what race, I don't care what faith you are. You don't deserve it. And that's just the way it is.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
any questions on the Facebook line?
No,
you let
sir.
me know.
I will let you know as soon as I see something.
Because even the Greek women, because the Greek women who are my fans on this show will always tell you, well, I work for my dad. I've done this. Yeah, it doesn't matter. If you're going to the real work experience, you're not going to be able to go ahead and think that you're just going to walk into a bank and be the VP. It doesn't work that way,
Not as a rule.
But anyway, no, that is a rule. Yeah. Well, listen, we got a couple of funny things. A lot of Greek parades all over the world for Greek independence. We were talking about Boston having one of their great Greek parades. New York, I think it's coming up in April 7th, I think, or the 6th. I can't remember when it is. Great Chicago. I got a chance to march on the Chicago parade, which was great. Then I had a chance to go ahead and do something for Greek television with Yana, a good friend of mine, where we covered the Greek. She's beautiful, just a gorgeous. It was a Beauty and the Beast covering the Greek parade in New York a few years ago. It was just a lot of fun.
Well, I've got a comment for you from Adrienne Roy.
Okay.
As a female immigrant lawyer in the 90s working in a male-dominated environment, I was paid the same as my male counterparts. Never experienced pay inequality or racism, and I'm not ashamed to say that I used my sexuality to get ahead. Men are fickle, I'm afraid. LOL. Well said.
Yeah, but you don't understand when she uses her female persuasion tactics. This is one of the most beautiful women I've ever met. She is gorgeous.
I can see her picture. She's very pretty.
She's very, very pretty. And she is, what's the word? She's just a beautiful woman. And she uses her sexuality for the best. But the thing is, what always turns me on about a woman, believe it or not, people think, oh, you're crazy. The first thing is you're always going to look at her features. And he goes, she's attractive, right? You're going to do that. It's automatic. It's the first thing you see. I'm always curious about how they think. And if you can stimulate me here in the mind by being an intelligent person or whatever, then you got the rest of me. And it's always been that way. I love intelligent women. I love surrounding myself with intelligent women. That's why you and I work together, I'm
he has to say that,
Yes, and that's the only once once per show. Let me go look at my contract. Okay,
that's right.
No, basically, I'm always intrigued by intelligence. It's a turn on for me. People, what are your turn ons? Intelligence. I can't. You sometimes will have a beautiful woman, and and sometimes they'll come across and they'll say something. It's like, excuse me, what? And it just makes no sense. And I'm always attracted to that type of a person, someone who's extremely intelligent. And she is Miss Roy, as I always refer to, my future ex-wife. She is an extremely beautiful, intelligent woman. An author wrote this, again, a fantastic book. Do You Know Who I Am? And as a matter of fact, she's turning that into a movie shortly. It's a very, very successful book, and it's going to be a successful movie. And it really talks about the wonderful. As a matter of fact, what we need to do? We need to have her on as a guest on our show one day, Janice. I think so too, because she is an attorney or a solicitor, as they refer to them in the UK. And yes, as a matter of fact, honey, I'm going to be coming back to England for a tour in October. So I'll be doing a UK tour. So we're going to hit Bristol, London. We're going to go to Manchester, I think. I think we're going to do a couple of more cities, Birmingham, and then I'm going to go up to Edinburgh. So it should be a lot of fun.
Awesome. That's very good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little. Again, I've always loved women who are extremely intelligent. Even the women I used to work at a law firm in Cleveland, and the women who used to work over at the courthouses, maybe common pleas, maybe Muni court, whatever the case is, federal court. God bless them. I love them all. Even when I worked on Washington, Capitol Hill, loved all the women there. They were extremely intelligent, right on the ball. They were great.
I'm going to switch gears on you. I really loved Johnny Carson when he was on his show, right?
Yeah.
And he always had pencils, right? Didn't he always have pencils that he flipped around or whatever?
He'd always used to do that and flip it in the air and all that, right?
So do you know what was unique about the erasers that he had on the set of The Tonight Show?
Ooh.
See, this is testing your comedic history and knowledge.
Why were they significant? Or
Yes. No. What was unique about the erasers that he used on the set of The Tonight Show? Would you like me to give you the multiple choice type questions?
Yes.
Okay. They didn't have any flat sides, so they rolled more easily. They were hollow with no leads. They were never sharpened, or they had erasers on both ends. And then
I'm going to go with
Jeopardy.
the third. I'm going to go with the third one. They had erasers on both ends.
That was the last one, and guess what? Ding, 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 ding. You're right. That was correct. I actually picked they were never sharpened, but that was not the answer.
I would assume because he used to always flip it out, and he always played drums because he was a drum player at one time, of course. And I miss the old Johnny Carson.
I know, that was great.
Very, very funny. Everything wasn't so politically correct or uptight. It was just masterful to see someone like that do what he did.
Yep.
He was great for training for me. Anyway, listen, we got to do that sponsor thing again. You are listening to A Pinch of Basile. If you have any questions, give us a call.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
To join the conversation, call 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Now, back to the show.
Oh, so glad you can join us on A Pinch of Basile. I am your wonderful host, Basil. Herb and Rosemary's son. That's right, I did that for Craig. Anyway, you're listening to A Pinch of Basile. You can hear us all the time on americamatters.us, or get us on the TuneIn app, or go on to any... I don't care, whatever you got. If you have a little tablet, if you got your phone, you can even call us. Call in right now, 844-790-8255. We even have a text where you can text your questions. And Janice, give them that text number.
That is 775-237-2266. So text us now.
Text us, absolutely. A lot of great stuff. We just had one of our viewers who was on the actual show. This thing, it gets seen over and over by so many people, and I want to thank you all for following us. But some of them are just really good friends, and one of them who just tried to contact us or whatever, hopefully he's going to get a chance to come on back, Basil Mosaides, who's the head of the AHEPA, the American Hellenic Educational Progressive Association. And a lot of people say, well, you got to be Greek to join. No, you don't. Don't have to be Greek. But if you feel Hellenism inside your soul, if you feel that type of thing, you can join. We have presidents that were AHEPA members. And, of course, a lot of you know that I work for a tremendous organization within the AHEPA, and it's the AHEPA Service Dogs for Warriors who suffer from PTSD. A lot of these cats come back, men and women, from that theater of war, and it's a horrific situation, and some of them come back, and there's such a high incidence of suicide by all of our military personnel that come back, and they need those support dogs. And those support dogs actually cost a lot of money, $15,000 per dog. But these dogs are nothing more than almost like another arm, and it just helps to calm that person down, that warrior down, that veteran. And these dogs feel whatever they feel. They know how to protect those warriors and do that. Again, great organization. I tell people all the time, if you want to do something, you want to give some money, go to ahepa.org, AHEPA.org. Go ahead and see what they do, all the wonderful things that they do. You don't have to be Greek, like I said. You can go ahead and if you feel and you see, when you see the service dogs segment, click on that, and you'll see all the wonderful dogs that we have that we've already given to our wounded warriors, our heroes, who really have done a fantastic job protecting us and our freedoms of speech to allow us to bring this show to you. So anyway, what else is going on, Janice?
Well, I want to let you. I want to know where you're going to be on Saturday.
I'm going to be in Syracuse.
Well,
Syracuse,
Mike, it's either Verone or Veroni. Not sure which. Verone, okay. Says he will see you Saturday. So there you go.
Oh, wow. It's very, very, very cool. Very, very funny cat. It's nice to be able to grab some of the comics and stuff like that. A lot of people think, oh, my God, who do you know? I travel all over the world. I've been traveling. I've been seeing some of the greatest entertainers. I've worked with some of the greatest entertainers. Listen, folks, if you ever want to have some fun, all the comics. I think we had Jeff Parami last week, who does his burlesque show at the wonderful, oh my God, the Borgata Casino in Atlantic City. I'm going to be at the Laugh Factory, one of the greatest comedy clubs chains that are out there, and it's going to be if you're in Vegas, it's going to be at the Tropicana, and of course if you go to Reno, and I will be in Reno, and I know that people listen live all the time to us in Reno. You can find me at the Silver Legacy at the wonderful Laugh Factory. So I'm excited to be there. I really am. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And I actually want to go out. I heard some great Japanese sushi places out there I'm dying to go to. Great steak places, everything. It's Easter time. And as you can tell, it's Easter time because you could see Craig wearing his little bunny outfit. And,
in our last segment.
Excuse me. In our last segment. I'm sorry. I choked. I threw up my mouth a little bit. Sorry. So anyway, it's Easter time for us, and it's crazy. It's Lenten period. It's a little bit nuts. And then our Easter is like a week after regular Easter. And I don't know who the hell made this schedule up.
I was going to say, how did that happen?
I don't know. You don't think Jesus is a little bit upset? He goes, really?
How do you do that?
Twice I
don't
got to go
that.
through this? Twice?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be kind of, it'd be okay.
Follow the Orthodox. Yeah, we follow the Orthodox calendar.
Gotcha.
Right? We follow the Orthodox calendar. So
do you celebrate Lent later then too?
No, well, we start like...
You start later, right?
We start a week later.
Right.
A week later.
That would make sense.
Yeah, so, so whenever it's Ash Wednesday, it's Holy Umption, with the oil. We do all this other stuff. It's actually pretty cool, I've been staying away from beef. It's been very, very difficult. I promised myself I was going to have no beef, but I did have some chicken. I did have I got to have some type of protein. But I did stay away from beef, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. What did you give up? Anything?
No, not this year.
No. You're not giving up anything? No,
I can't say. I can't say that I am. I thought about it, but I just can't say that I am. I'm
that's great.
Not going to lie.
At least you thought about it.
I did. I actually did. Just like maybe for my mom, really. I was thinking about it, but didn't come up with anything good and that I thought I would really stick to. And if you're not going to stick to it, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, I suppose. What, Craig, did you give up anything?
Not a thing.
That's why we love these people, folks. It seems that only Basil's
all these heathens.
It's always nice to work with heathens. It truly is. Next week, we're going to be going to a devil worship a little outfit because that's that we both.
Now that's something I might be able to get behind. Just kidding.
Oh, now I have to leave.
Yeah. No, Janice, Craig, go ahead in the middle of the pentagram and light up the candles and see what happens. Okay, lovely. Oh, my gosh. No. Anyway, what else is cooking, Janice? Anything we need to know?
Not beef.
Not beef. No beef for you, buddy.
No, not at all. It's sad for myself.
Well, I love words. I'm really a huge fan of words. Being a publisher, that's kind of one of the things that I do, right? So I found these wonderful, last week we talked about crapulous. Remember crapulous last week?
How could I forget crapulous? I just had it the other night. I had a crapulous dinner.
There you go. Okay. No, you were crapulous. You were crapulous.
I was very crapulous. Tell the people one more time what crapulous meant.
It's drunken. Being drunk or drunkenly. It's an old word that isn't used anymore. We actually decided at LaRue, we do an Our Town event, and this year we're doing an Our Town event where we're going to bring a food truck and we're going to tell people, it's called Tasty Temptations for literary tales, right? So we'll have a food truck there so you can come over and you can check out some new books and grab a bite on your way home. So we decided, though, that because today I found these wonderful obsolete words, that somebody wrote an article and said, it's high time we revive these words, right? So
Okay.
I needed to share at least one or two of them with you. So I'm glad you gave me a minute here. And I'm going to use it in a sentence so that you can see if you know what it means, okay?
All right.
It's hard to enjoy your meal when the guy opposite is groking you the whole time. Groking you. Can you imagine?
Just say
That's
that
staring
sentence one
at
more-
you?
It's hard to enjoy your meal when the guy opposite is groking you the whole time.
Perhaps not staring, but perhaps jealous of what you're eating. He can't have it.
Well, you're both sort of right, because it's to silently watch someone while they're eating, hoping to be invited to join them. So, what can I tell
It is so
you?
difficult. It is so difficult to be me and to be right all the time. That's all
Oh,
I'm saying.
please. Oh, please. Well, I did find something, though, and that one was actually, what's the timeline now? Oh, they don't know the origin of that one. But I have one from the early 1600s that actually is a word that we use today. It's Twitter light.
Twitter light.
Twitter light, yeah. So, imagine talking to somebody in the 1530s. Oh, I'm sorry, in the 1600s, and you use the word Twitter, and in their minds it's one thing, in your mind it's another, right? Mm-hmm. I can't. Oh, excuse me. London is at its most beautiful by Twitter light.
I know exactly what it means.
Okay.
It's almost like. For example, as the sun goes down and the only light that comes through are the lights that come from the window within a structure that you could see whatever you're doing through that light. It's referred to as Twitter light.
Well, it's just an alternative to twilight. You made it too much.
Couldn't you just say Basil? Oh my God, you're right. Was it that difficult?
Yes.
It's not like other people, really. Because I know there are some people right now going to Twitter going, I got some Twitter light right now that I'm going to. Okay.
Yeah, I had
Twitter
quite a few here. I'm looking for one in particular. Nothing worse than audibly murmuring during a job interview.
That's when you chew the inside of your cheek. That skin that comes out.
Oh, yeah, it's worse.
No, I think it's flatulence.
There you go. A low rumbling sound produced by the bowels.
And thank you for bringing the whole show to an end, ladies and gentlemen.
From the 1880s.
On that crapulous note.
Don't forget, we listen every week on Tuesdays from 6 to 7 on New York City time. We can be heard all around the world.
There you go.
I always say farting, okay, on americamatters.us. If you're using TuneIn, a radio app, just search America Matters. Be sure to keep one of us as one of your favorites. Questions, comments about the show, go to Basil Fans on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Light, or give us a call at 844. I love you guys.
Bye.